Yes, hello members. You are most welcome. I say hi, Teacher Saddam back on board. I have come today to put more emphasis on currencies. How do we get ourselves to exchange? How do we understand the exchange? Remember, this is a key point. In my previous lesson, I did mention that these countries have different currencies. You can't go to USA and find there that people are using Ugandan shillings. They have their own currency. You can't go to Kenya and find people are using only Ugandan shillings because you are from Uganda. Or you are from Kenya, you come to Uganda and you think people are using only Kenyan shillings. Yet this is Uganda. In other words, all countries have their currencies. But for the purpose of the global village, we have to match. You have to move from one country to another and understand these concepts. You have to understand that money can be bought. The other time when I said we are selling or buying money, someone else said, oh, how do you buy money or how do you sell money? But this is what it strictly means, that we need to exchange. We need to have an exchange of these currencies depending on where we have gone. Let's focus on this. When you look at the other lesson, we said you can come to Uganda with US dollars. Imagine that you have come with these US dollars, but you can't practically go in shops to spend that money in Uganda. What you are supposed to do, you have to understand that this money, which is in dollars, has to be exchanged with the Ugandan currency such that you can use it appropriately. Let's look at this example, that you have US dollars 250. This is what you have come with in Uganda, and you wish to exchange it all for Ugandan currency. Remember, the cost of each unit currency like this depends on the period of time. Sometimes people think, because the other day I said Ugandan currency 3,700 Ugandan shillings is equivalent to $1. Remember, this is not permanent. Sometimes, depending on the period, you find that for you to buy the US dollars or for US dollars to be sold to you, it depends on the period of time. The cost is not permanent. Now, you will find a period whereby 3,700 Ugandan shillings buys $1. But the period will reach that even 4,000 shillings, it buys the US dollar, which is 1, meaning that it keeps on varying time to time. Now, $1, when we are buying, the bank, remember, exchanges this money. There is where you have your foreign currency, so the bank will buy from you. This is a concept that I want people to understand. There is buying and then selling. When does the bank buy and when does the bank sell? And in other words, if you go to a forex bureau where money is exchanged, when do they say we are using the buying price, or when they say we are using the selling price? But look at a situation where we have the selling price. Someone is like, wow, what am I going to do? Am I using this? And you go, why are you saying they have cheated me? Because you find one column is indicating another one, and then one column is getting another one. But when we have US dollars 250 and we wish to exchange it into Ugandan shillings, I want you to be very careful with this. When we have 250 US dollars and we really want to exchange it into Ugandan shillings, then the bank is going to buy from us. Why does the bank buy from us? Any foreign currency, the bank buys. I'm assuming that I'm now in Uganda and these dollars have become foreign. And definitely the bank will buy from us that foreign currency. For example, if the buying price is 3,700 UG, Ugandan shillings, the selling price can't be less than this, because practically you can't buy something at some cost which is slightly expensive, then you sell it at a cheap cost. So you find a selling price around 3,000, maybe 780, or sometimes even 3,800. Now the bank buys from you these US dollars. Tomorrow, when you want to go back to US, you will also need that money back. So when you come back with your Ugandan currency, you want to buy the US dollars, the bank will say, okay, I think last time you gave me at this, so today I'm giving you also at this. Meaning that this time the bank is selling to you foreign currency. You want to buy, so the bank is now selling to you this currency that you want to take, the foreign currency. You're exchanging it, you want US dollars. Now here, when you had the US dollars, the bank was buying from you. So the bank sells this money, which is the foreign currency, when it has bought it at a lower price, but sells it at slightly a higher price. Meaning that if you want to change the $250, for example, we are using this, that the buying rate is 3,700. So the bank is going to use this rate to calculate the amount of money you are supposed to receive in Ugandan shillings. Let's look at this. We have 1 US dollar being equivalent to US dollar being equivalent to 3,700 Ugandan shillings. What about these 250 US dollars? Now remember, when we are dealing with the multiplication, we know we are dividing these 250 US dollars by 1 US dollar. So 250 US dollars divided by 1 US dollar, then you multiply by 3,700 Ugandan shillings. So this one gives you a point to understand that when we are dealing with a foreign currency and we want to change it into the local currency, meaning that the bank will buy from you, and at that point we are going to multiply the 3,700. We can put a 0 here. Then when you multiply, of course, here we have zeros, here we have 35, 5 here 3, this is 15, here is 18, here we have 0, 0, 0, this is 14, you write 4, you regroup 1, this is 6, and then 7. So when you add this, you will have something which is close to that. This money we are seeing here is now in Ugandan shillings. This is what we look at. That means the 250 US dollars is equivalent to Ugandan shillings 925,000. Now, tomorrow, when you want this money back, when you want it back into the US dollars, say you want to go back the other side, you will have to go to the bank. But this time, we are going to use the selling price. When you have home currency, the bank sells to you foreign currency. I don't know whether that's clear. When you have home currency, the bank sells to you foreign currency. So this table you always see here, where there is buy, here sell, or buying and selling. This time, when we had the US dollars, we used this column of buying. But now, since we have home currency, the Ugandan currency, we are going to use the selling price. Why? The bank this time is going to sell to you that foreign currency. The other time it bought it from you, now it's going to sell to you. And remember, you need to note this, that the selling prices are always higher than the buying prices. What we call home currency, you may be in Burkina Faso, you may be in Ivory Coast. Where you are, that is your home. And the currency there is your home currency. So if someone comes from the US and comes to Burkina Faso, the money that he has come with is the foreign. If the bank is going to exchange that for the currency that he has to use in Burkina Faso, then the bank will buy from him that US dollars. Then tomorrow, when you want to change that currency for Burkina Faso back to US dollars, the bank will sell to him that foreign currency, the one we are based on US dollars. You may ask me, why am I so much on US dollars? At least is the one which is widely used in most of these countries. There, let's go to our neighbors here in Kenya. When you have the Kenyan currency and you also want to use to get this Ugandan currency, that means you have to go and exchange. Still, the procedure is the same. Since you have the Kenyan currency, the bank will buy it from you and give you Ugandan currency. But when you have the Ugandan currency, the bank will sell to you the foreign currency, which we are calling the Kenyan shillings, and everything will be fine. Please, for those who are trying to figure out how does this thing work, that's a simple thing. You may not get this explanation in the banks, but it is very important that you understand it now, because it will help you to understand how currencies can be exchanged. Avoid to be cheated, just understand. The moment you understand this, it will be okay. But the key points here are: understand when the bank buys from you and when the bank sells to you. It makes it very perfect, and everything definitely will be fine. Remember, each country has its own currency. We shall continue from there. I'm your teacher. Always the best for you. Thank you.